I've seen the future.
Hey everybody, it's Baron-Reid. Welcome to this week's Oracle card guidance and lesson. And I'm doing the same thing like I did last week, since you guys loved it, where I'm mixing up my Oracle card decks. I'm taking 2 cards from Wisdom of the Oracle to start the conversation. And then I'm taking 1 card from the Good Tarot, which is more of an affirmation deck. And then I'm kind of putting the exclamation mark, bing, with my latest deck, Postcards from Spirit. So we also get our 2 cents from heaven. Now, every week I ask a question for everybody. So in other words, it's kind of like the general weather report for everyone. And then you can go to my website and go to my free app or have your own Oracle cards at home, choose your own cards and see how your personal story in motion fits into the more global one. Okay, so this week is about considering options. The first 2 cards that we got for Wisdom of the Oracle, the anchor card is Fork in the Road in Protection. So it kind of talks about feeling catatonic and terrified of making a choice. But if we were to look at it much more globally and a little bit more generally, it is asking us to slow down and really consider why we are choosing what we are choosing, to get really conscious of making a choice. So in other words, when the Fork in the Road card is also in protection, it also reminds us that we are not meant to stay in stalemate, and we are not meant to stay where we are all the time. So we can't cling on to the familiar either. So it's basically saying, make any decision right now. You must make a choice this week. So it's very interesting how the cards all kind of came together, because the card Y is the second card that tells us what we need to do around the first card. So be very clear about your motives for making certain choices. So you want to get out of denial about why you want something. So what if your intention is to be a famous singer, but you're not willing to sing every day? What if your intention this week was to, get that guy to marry you, but he's married to somebody else? Like, mind you, that's kind of a bad thing, but you know what I'm saying. What if you aren't willing to do whatever it takes to get where you need to go, but you still want to go there? Or maybe you're choosing something because you want to feel better about yourself, and you're, instead of actually focusing on that feeling, you're looking at the form. So this is telling us, and I'm mostly telling you things that are negative right now, because the card is in protection, and so we want to look at where we may not be willing to do whatever it takes to get what we desire, right? And we may not even be knowing why we want what we want. So this is a week to do that. Check your motives all across the week. Get into the observer and say, like, why do I really want this? Do I really want this? Am I doing this because somebody else wants me to do that? Am I doing this because I'm conditioned to want it? Am I doing this because I think somebody else is going to get mine? Am I doing this because I think it's going to make me happy, but deep down I know the kind of happiness I want really comes in a different form? So this is a real good week to do a self-inventory. Now here's what's very cool about how my cards work. Gonna have to bend. One moment, please. I chose the 2 of Air for the card from the Good Tarot. And the 2 of Air is again about considering options and slowing down. And the affirmation, it says, it's time to take a break to consider my options and think about things. There is no need to rush forward. The perfect answer for the highest good will come to me if I take my time and remain in a peaceful state of mind. Now, remember last week we were talking about peace. So we were talking about that as a state of mind that we want to foster. And this week we're also saying similar thing. It's like, get into that peaceful state of mind, slow down, and ask ourselves honestly, rigorously honest, is this what I really want? Is this in the highest good of all? Now, we asked also for 2 cents from heaven. What does heaven have to say about all of this? Who's over there? Our guides, our angels, our loved ones in spirit. Remember what we said last week? Imagine if everybody was having a party and they all got together and they wrote us a postcard to tell us something that we really needed to hear that enables us to continue the story that I started with the first card. Here it says, Dear you. Do you feel like you need to do all the work and fix everything for everyone, or you might have no value? Oh, this is so interesting. Maybe you think you need to control everything, or else nothing will get done, be healed, be completed. You may think you need to conform to what others expect of you, or choose a course of action to manipulate an outcome, but we don't think that would be a very good idea. How about this? Even if it makes you temporarily uncomfortable, do something different. Set that boundary. Delegate responsibility to another. Ask for your needs to be met. And when faced with an impossible situation or sticky and meshed relationship, repeat this mantra: I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and it's not my job to cure it. Then carry on. Feels good, doesn't it? The best part is everything just seems to work beautifully and honestly in the end. We love you so much. Isn't that cool? 2 cents from heaven. These are the Postcards from Spirit Oracle cards that are available now. And so I would say in summary, this is a week for us to really trust that we are being looked after. We need to be rigorously honest about our choices, why we are making them, and trust that we don't need to do everything by ourselves either. That we have to really step back and go, what is unique and authentic to me? And then make that honest choice, and don't get into these sticky kind of, oh, I'm gonna do this because maybe I'll get that, because that's not going to work. All right, guys, see ya. And if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends and leave a comment underneath. Plus, go to my website and pick a couple of cards for yourself and see how your story fits with the bigger story. And then come back even at the end of the week and say like, oh my God, because that's what people are doing if you read the comments from the earlier videos. See you next week.
I've seen the future. It's beautiful.